Program is brought to you by realestate.com.au, Australia's #1 address in property. With more properties for sale than anywhere else, we make it easier.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at what's happening in the property market this week. There are close to 2,800 auctions scheduled around the country tomorrow. That's down 16% this time last year. Sydney will host 745 auctions, with another 200 in regional New South Wales. Melbourne will hold over 1,100 auctions, and there'll be another 66 in regional Victoria. Brisbane has 150 scheduled and an additional 174 across Queensland. Adelaide will have 175, 9 in regional South Australia, with Canberra scheduling just over 100. Having a look at our most viewed properties going to auction this weekend, topping the list is something a little different. A lovely little bush church sitting on a 1,600 square metre block out at Warndoo in Victoria's southwest. It does have plumbing and a water tank, as well as plenty of space, with a price of just $90,000 to $100,000. Next is 67 Louisian Road in Ringwood, Victoria, just north of Melbourne. It's a 5-bedder with 2 bathrooms split across 3 levels. It's on a 900 square metre block with an asking price of $850,000 to $900,000. Property 3 is 38 Douglas Street, Rutherglen in Victoria, close to the border with New South Wales. It's a 4-bedroom home with 2 bathrooms set on a 2,900 square metre block. The price tag between $690,000 and $700,000. Next up is 8 Merlaroo Court, also in Victoria, a 4-bedder with 2 bathrooms, and it has a price guide of between $970,000 and $1 million. And rounding up the top 5 this week is 3 Bellarine Court, Mulgrave. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home with a price guide of between $690,000 and $750,000. And the top viewed property this week is 22 Narrow Street, Mittagong in New South Wales. It's a 5-bedroom modern farmhouse set on 4,000 square metres. Located about 2 hours south of Sydney, perfect for those with the luxury of working from home. It's got a long list of features, including herringbone oak timber floors, high ceilings and a mineral swimming pool with a view of the nearby town. And there's no price guide just yet. I'm now joined by Paul Ryan from REA Group to take us through the details. Paul, thanks for joining us. Now, auctions are down 16% compared to this time last year. What's the reason behind this?
I think primarily it's that last year we were coming out of lockdowns in both Sydney and Melbourne. As you heard, we've still got a big number of auctions across both Sydney and Melbourne, more than 1,000 auctions in Melbourne. So there's a lot of market activity coming to the close of this spring selling season.
Now, Melbourne has topped the list with the most amount of auctions, a significantly higher figure than the Sydney market. Why are so many Victorians selling?
Good question. I mean, we normally see Melbourne outpace Sydney in terms of auctions. Obviously, Sydney's a bigger city, but Melbourne just loves auctions. They spread further out into the kind of north, west and east of the city than they do in Sydney. So it's not so much that Melbourne people are selling houses at a greater rate, it's that they love auctions more.
Now, Paul, this week you released your Home Price Index report. How did property prices fare in November?
So we saw prices continue to fall in November, down 0.16%. Now, this continues the trend we've seen since early this year. Prices are slowly falling. This isn't calamitous by any means, but that big weight of higher interest rates is continuing to affect prices all across the country, except you'll note in Adelaide, which saw prices rise and is now at a new price peak, which is bucking the trend across the rest of the nation.
It's December already. At what point does the market take a pause for Christmas?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a lot of scheduled auctions next week, so more than 1,200 auctions in Melbourne next weekend. So it's probably that's the last weekend, I think, of big numbers of transactions that we're expecting to see. And then we'll see that normal lull as the market kind of quietens down over the Christmas break and then reopens in late January or early February.
Now, on Tuesday, we're most likely to have our 8th consecutive rate rise. What's your prediction? Can we expect another 25 basis points?
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Another 25 basis points from the Reserve Bank. We know they're not scheduled to meet in January, so this is a natural pause. We'll give some respite for borrowers. If the RBA does raise rates in December, that'll mark the sharpest increase in interest rates that the RBA has ever conducted. So it'll eclipse that increase we saw in 1994.
Now, Philip Lowe, he apologised to homeowners who took out loans with a promise that interest rates wouldn't be hiked until 2024. What do you make of this?
Yeah, I think the RBA has done quite a lot of soul searching around their communication. That's the key thing I think they're looking to reform going forward is how can they talk through potential borrowers around the risks around the economy and interest rates and what might happen. We've seen, I mean, the last 3 years have been really quite exceptional. The ups and downs, the uncertainty. I guess we're all kind of glad that that's somewhat to an end now. But really, the Reserve Bank is learning that it needs to be clear around the risks around its interest rate, because we've seen now borrowers that took out loans this time last year, some of them will find themselves in a position that they really didn't expect to be in right now.
Great. Thank you, Paul, for your time. Have a good weekend.